Occasionally what will happen during this phase is as your body is switching from one season to another, it's having to learn, in a sense, new digestion. You're growing new gut bacteria and all this kind of stuff. And so some people, when they switch into spring, which is really odd, but with all the increased vegetables, which has a ton of fiber in it, and all the increased water, they defy the odds, and somehow, sometimes they get a little bit of blocked up and have a little bit of constipation. It doesn't make any sense if you think about it. With all the extra plants and all the extra water, it shouldn't happen, but occasionally it does. So there are a couple of things that can be done for this. Okay, here they are. The one is to recognize that your digestion is controlled by gravity. So what I mean by this is that, like, for example, the cardiovascular system has like the diaphragm and heart to pump things around, but the digestive system doesn't really have that. So the digestive system largely relies on gravity. You can actually prove this to yourself by hanging upside down at the gym and swallowing something. It's really difficult. You know, even though you have the muscles pushing stuff down, gravity is part of what makes it easier. And of course, the rest of the digestive system requires gravity. So one of the things that can help a great deal in terms of a hack, if anybody is feeling a little blocked up, is to make sure that you are not staying still for more than, you know, say 30 to 40 minutes at a time. So, you know, these days you can have a watch with an app or a phone that reminds you that you've been still for 40 minutes, that you get up and you walk around. So the more you move, the more you'll have movements. So I know, terrible, terrible. So that's one hack. The other hack is increasing your intake of healthy fats. So for example, adding some nice olive oil to your salads, or even taking a tablespoon of olive oil is fine. You just get the best quality, well-produced olive oil that you can. It should be clear and not yellow. And other healthy oils as well. So that's another hack. Another hack is magnesium. So what apparently happens when we take in so many crucifer vegetables like the greens that we take in, is that they can actually interfere with the uptake of magnesium sometimes. And so taking a magnesium supplement at this stage can help with things like constipation, leg cramps, and sleep. So a magnesium supplement can be useful. If somebody on our team could publish a link to, say, 7 Minerals, which is a client of ours that we represent, and we like the quality of their stuff, but you can get it any number of places. And also something else to remember is that research has indicated that magnesium absorbs better sometimes through the skin than it does through your digestive tract. So even taking a nice long hot Epsom salt or magnesium salt bath, okay, you beat me to it, is not, get a bath, Deborah, geez. But yeah, that could help. Yeah, no, I understand, I get it. So yeah, you're not gonna have that possibility, but Deborah, you know, you may well find at some of the spas in there that they actually have like a salt bath treatment or a salt rub type treatment, and if they use magnesium that too. And then here's another one, and this one's a little bit odd, but if you think about the way the toilet puts your posture, it's not actually the ideal posture for bowel movements. It just isn't. I remember my mom saying to me once, like, we were talking about childbirth and stuff, and she says, Eric, you know, the stirrups, you know, lying a woman on her back and putting her feet in stirrups, why do you think that is? And I go, I don't know, maybe it's easier because the whole thing's easier because her legs are up. And she goes, no, that's all for the obstetrician. None of that makes childbirth easy for the woman. In fact, it makes it really hard for the woman. I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, how would you feel about pooping lying on your back like that? You're pushing something out of your body. You want gravity on your side, right? So she goes, actually, childbirth works a lot better in a squatting position, which, you know, it turns out is true. So the same is true with bowel movements, is that it's actually much better for the body to be in a squatting position. If you can actually see scans of this where it shows the way the tubes line up. When you sit on a toilet, the tubes kind of just bunch up, and it's more difficult. When you're in a squatting position, it actually opens everything up, and it's a lot easier. So there's a company, this is real, I don't know, I'm not a shareholder, no, I don't have an affiliate code. I'm just telling you, there's a company out there called, I kid you not, Squatty Potty. But what they've done is they've developed these little, it's like an attachment that you put around the toilet that puts foot pads there so that you can actually lift your feet up and squat when you're going to the bathroom, because it's proven that it makes the entire process, and I've read some of the studies on this, by the way. There was a study done in Japan. I'll see if I can find the article I wrote about this for you guys. I actually wrote about this. Can one of you, could you, let me think, Jillian, just make a note to help me find that. I can't remember where I published it. But in any event, using a squatty potty is, or just simply using squatting can actually be, yeah. And of course, Deborah, you're right. There's squatting toilets all over Asia. And so that in itself, not only does it speed the process up, but it apparently is more efficient in terms of how much of the material comes out instead of kind of leaving residual things. Anyway, that's our toilet conversation. Done. I always enjoy that question.